is brought to you by Team Toyota, BC. This is the Bull Session, a weekly recap of your 2025 Philadelphia Phillies. Broadcasting live from Chickie's and Pete's, tonight's show is brought to you by Team Toyota, BCWSA, Fogo de Show, Penn Community Bank, Chickie's and Pete's, and the Capitol Grill Center City. Now, here are your hosts, Phillies Director of Fun and Games, John Brazer, and Mickey Morandini.
All right, welcome to the BCWSA Bull Session presented by Wapner Newman. I'm John Brazer, Director of Fun and Games, joined by my special guest. And, well, you know what? I didn't even know that you were coming, Mickey, so I didn't even have you in my intro because you called me 2 hours ago and said I can make it. Yep. You came down from Boston.
I did.
Right? So we are at Mickey Morandini, and Mickey's former coach was Larry Bowa.
Yep.
Our special guest. How's it going, Larry?
Everything's good, Braze. Everything's good.
Well, we Mickey and I think we were telling you a little bit. You asked right when Mickey came in, how's your golf game? Or you talked about golf. Well, Mickey and I went up to Pittsburgh last week. We drove up with Tom Burgoyne, the Fanatic.
Friend of the Fanatic.
And went up there. And Mick, we had dinner at Oakmont. When you walk, have you been to Oakmont?
Yeah, but I haven't played. I've been there having lunch and stuff like that.
Well, even when you walk in the clubhouse, you walk in there and you just feel like you're in sacred ground.
Right.
Like just this aura. And you see the pictures, black and white pictures of, Sam Snead and Gene Sarazen or wherever, all the different Johnny Miller and Jack
the old
Nicklaus
school boys.
And, Arnold Palmer. And you see all the winners. They have the scorecards of the winners, so Ernie Els and Greg Norman, Angel Cabrera, it was pretty cool, right?
It's intimidating.
It's totally intimidating.
You walk out on that first hole, and you're just there to have fun. And
but you both broke 100 though. That's good.
We broke 100, which is good. Now I have to
sand
say,
traps. I was underneath 100 sand traps.
well, Mickey and I played 2 years ago, and I hit a sand trap in 16 of the 18 holes. I hit a sand trap. Now there's no water, there's no trees. So you think, okay, well, I can play this course, right? They've strategically put a sand trap in the
right where you hit them.
I mean, right. You're like, I remember my best drive today. I bombed it, and it bounces, then takes a veers off to the right into a sand trap. Just unbelievable. So anyway, Mickey, how many holes were you in a sand trap?
At least 14.
14, right.
Sometimes multiple sand traps on holes. It was crazy. It was fun though.
But Mickey got to see, witness.
I did. Greatness. I witnessed greatness.
It'll probably be the best shot I've ever
What'd
made.
you do? Make a birdie or something?
So the big hole in Oakmont is the fourth hole, and that's the church pews. So they're famous for the greens.
Right.
It's almost like a comb, and they got fingers. But if you hit it in the sand part of the fingers, you can't go forward because there's a huge lip. So you basically have to take a penalty shot. So weird angle. I hit it as hard as I could. It went off the lip and went about 70 yards. It's still not really that way, but kind of more parallel. Well, my next shot was actually I bombed it about 120 yards to the green. So now I'm on my fourth shot on a par 5, and so I've got the wedge. I hit it real clean.
110 out.
110? You think 110?
110
I will say 110. So I hit in the air, a nice little draw. Bounce, rolls 20 feet into the cup for a birdie.
Wow.
And I turned to my buddy Pat Rooney, who took us out. I said, Pat, have you ever seen anybody that hit into the church pews and then birdied? He's like, no. I mean, extremely lucky. So
that's good.
It was a lot of fun. How's your golf game these days?
Not good.
Not good?
No, I got to go out.
Non-existent.
I got to go out and practice a little bit on it.
He's good when he plays.
Yeah, when I play, I haven't been out there enough.
Well, you used to win didn't you used to win the Phillies tournament before the season?
Yeah, that was back in the day where we had our erasers on the pencils and everything.
You had a hole-in-one 2 years ago?
Yeah, I did.
That's right, you did.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Since I just explained, walk me through that one.
Par 3, I had
this is down in Clearwater.
Trey Turner and Paco and Stott.
Okay.
And I was the fourth. And it was a par 3, and those two guys, Stott and Trey, hit the ball a long way. And so they both hit, and they went off the green. And Trey says, just put it on the green. We can two-putt. I said, I'll get it on the green. So I hit it, and it was sort of a blind shot. Like I saw where the pin was, and it went on the green, and he had his thing out, and he goes, I don't even see the ball. And I said, I'm on the green, man. And over on the left, the next hole was a par 5, and there was all kinds of guys backed up. So after I hit it, I see Marsh jumping up and down. And this is a fix, right? They're telling me that ball, and they're going crazy. They're high-fiving, and they goes, hole in one. I said, get out of here, man. So the car goes up there, and Marsh comes up and gives me a big hug. He goes, can you believe you got a hole? I said, get out of here. I said, where's my ball? He says, it's not on the green. I said, well, I know I didn't go over. And he said, well, go look in the hole. And I walked over there and was sitting in the hole.
What is that? You've never hit a home run, right?
I have not.
What is that feeling like?
Believe
because,
it was unbelievable. It was like next to winning the World Series.
Right. I mean, that gives you a story. I'm all about the story.
I know it.
That gives you a story to tell for years.
It's unbelievable. When somebody said, have you had one since? I said, no, I'll never have another one. It was just luck. It hit twice, and then it just curled around. Marshy said it just went right in the hole. So I said,
the only thing would have been better if you saw it go in.
Exactly.
Yeah. The fact you didn't see it,
right?
You know what I mean?
Watching
it go in.
But when I looked over there and saw them all jumping, I said, man, this is a
practical joke, right?
Yeah, I said they're just setting me up.
Now, the only thing better if he did it in a tournament where there's a Mercedes.
Oh, I know.
The,
I told Wheels, he's in charge of, did you get a boat or something for this?
Right.
You get a handshake.
Like Jimmy Rollins.
But you also didn't have to buy a round for everybody.
No, because,
usually if you, in
because
a private
John
club,
Middleton was there.
And
all those guys said you have to buy a round, and John says, I got it. Don't worry. Thanks,
there you go. Yeah. It's good to have John Middleton.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right, Larry. So I'm assuming that your official title is. Are you still the assistant to the general manager?
Yep.
So you're not. He's an ambassador, right?
Yeah.
But he doesn't have diplomatic license plates, right?
I do not.
Right. So
regular.
So if you get in trouble,
plates.
you can't.
No.
You're not a government official.
I am not.
Right. But as a special assistant, the GM, do you watch like most of the games?
I watch most of all of them at home. In fact, I'd go on the field at home and hit ground balls to help Bobby Dickerson with the infielders. I don't throw any BPA, not down on the field. And then when they go on the road, I try to see Reading at least once in Lehigh Valley. Try to get down to Clearwater. But, in case they ask, what do you think of this guy?
Right.
You have an idea.
Have you done those trips this year?
No, not yet.
Okay. Are there certain guys you're excited
I wanted to see Miller.
Yeah.
I saw him in spring training before he got hurt. This guy's got a chance to be something special, but I don't like the issues he's having with his back. This is 2 years now, and he's only 21 years old. But he's got all the tools. It reminds me a lot of that kid in Pittsburgh that they just
Miller.
Yep.
What's his
Colton Miller.
Colton Miller.
Ours is Aiden Miller.
Right.
I think it's Miller. Pretty sure it's Miller.
Colton somebody.
Yeah.
Is there any guys now off the top of your head? I know there's like Rincones, right?
Rincon, both of them. There's a shortstop and an outfielder.
Right.
There's a second baseman, Escobar, that's pretty good. Swings the bat good.
How about the kid that's very young? I think we just got him international, Renteria.
I haven't seen him. But the kid we signed 2 years ago or last year from Arkansas.
Oh, Gage Wood.
He's already in Double-A.
Yeah.
This guy's
the pitcher?
He's real.
Gas. He threw the no-hitter in the College World Series.
He's real.
They moved him up because I knew he was.
He's in
Double-A. But he's going to be a starter, right?
I guarantee he's on the fast track.
Good.
Because, you play 4 years at SEC.
Right.
I have no idea why they started him out in Clearwater. I guess they just wanted to get his feet wet. But he breezed through that, and he's breezing through Reading. I'll probably, in another 2 weeks, he'll probably be up in Lehigh Valley.
Good.
Good arm.
That
good
is
arm.
Good. All right, so it's been a kind of a strange year, Phillies baseball. Got off to an absolutely terrible start. It cost, unfortunately, Rob Thompson. I know you're real good buddies with Rob, and we all love Rob. And then, then they Don Mattingly comes in, and, I guess it's sometimes just, I don't know whether it's out of guilt, out of like, not shame, but you know what I mean? Like, what do you think causes all of a sudden a team to turn it on when they just look dead to the water? Just
sometimes it helps, Braze, but if you go back at what happened there, we played two teams back to back, the Cubs and Braves. They weren't losing.
Right.
It didn't matter who the manager was.
Yep.
They were on fire. I think we might have won one, and we went 1-8 or something. I don't know what it was. And then if you look at the schedule after Tom's got fired, I'm not saying there's easy games, but all these teams that we're playing are second division teams.
Yeah.
And we breezed through them, and now we're in a position now where we've been playing our pitching. I should say this: our pitching's been outstanding.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it might be as good as anybody's, but our offense has been very inconsistent. And for us to get to where we want to go, we're going to have to improve our offense, because I don't really believe anybody's going to catch the Braves. They're playing really good. So basically, we're starting June 1st. I don't want to say you're playing for a wild card, but to catch the Braves, they'd have to have a total collapse, and we'd have to really go on fire.
Yeah, because they had a down year last year with injuries.
A lot of injuries.
And then just some guys just couldn't get off the schneid.
Yep.
But then this year, everything's kind of fallen into place with
question.
Sale and a lot of the pitching staff.
They're playing good. I will say this, and I do believe we're going to get in the playoffs. I wouldn't want to play us with three pitchers we have right now. Our three pitchers at the top are lights out. I'm talking about Sanchi, Wheels, and who am I missing?
Luzardo, yeah.
And, we know Nola can pitch, ways capable. And if your number 5 pitches like Painter right now, I think you're in good shape pitching wise. I like our bullpen.
And people are panicking on Painter. We are so early in his career.
And he's young.
At this point, Cole Hamels had like a 5.19 ERA, at this point. So you got to give the kid time to kind of get acclimated, get adjusted to the major league.
And coming off Tommy John. I mean, you got to give the kid a little break. He's got a good arm.
Well, we've talked about this. You said before Tommy John, he had pinpoint
unbelievable
control. And he lost some of that with his surgery,
question.
And he still has to trying to get that back. Right?
No question. Yeah. And I read some articles of guys that have had Tommy John, and they've said the last thing is not velocity. The last thing is command. So I expect this kid. He's still young. He's got a good stuff. He's a good kid. He works hard. I'm not worried about him at all. I think he's going to be fine.
My biggest worry is down the road, playoffs, or when we're trying to fight for playoffs, and we're facing a heavily left-handed pitching team.
We might have trouble.
Where or like in a short series, 5-game series, where they're throwing out two lefties, and we just haven't been hitting against
our righties
or good righty or really good righties.
No, but our right-handed hitters are what's confusing me.
Right.
I mean, I would think that we'd be mashing some left-handed pitching, but it seems like the only guys hitting left-handed pitching are Schwarber and Hart.
Yeah.
And Marshy.
That's the positive of the year. I think if you're going to have like one, obviously Sanchez is, but you kind of knew that Sanchez was going to,
be good.
Be good.
He's going to be really
Marsh
good.
was, people were down on Marsh, calling him a platoon player. Is he pretty much playing all the time against lefties now?
Except for the other night. I don't know. Donnie pulled out the rabbit's foot because he pinched it for him and Sosa hit the home run.
Right.
We would have got swept in L.A.
Right.
If that didn't happen. But he had a gut feeling and he went with it. But there's too many good right-handed hitters in our lineup that aren't hitting. Bohm, Realmuto, Trey's going to get hot. He's one of those hitters. When he's going bad, he goes bad. But when he gets hot, man, he gets hot.
Yeah, but it's good to see Marsh. The guy that to me he's an energy guy, right? He brings a lot of fun, to the team. When we have a lot of veterans that are. Not. I'm not saying they're not fun, but they're just more.
They bring energy,
and he brings
energy. Brings a lot of energy every night.
So, it's good to. All right, when we come back, let's talk more about the current team.
Okay.
Winners win. Wapner Newman has been winning for families throughout the Philadelphia area, New Jersey, since 1978. You need a winner? Call Wapner Newman 215-569-0900 or visit wapnernewman.com. As I said, when we come up on the show, we'll talk about the team. We'll also go through Larry's career. We have a lot of fun stories about how you beat up on our buddy Mickey Morandini. Did he beat up on you, Mick?
Yeah, he beat up on me.
A little bit. We'll talk all that. You're listening to BCWSA Bull Session presented by Wapner Newman.
Hey, BCWSA customers. This is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. My friends at BCWSA are committed to providing us with safe, reliable water and sewer services. They operate state-of-the-art treatment facilities, provide clean drinking water, and make much-needed investments to protect our environment and ensure a sustainable future. Learn how BCWSA's investments help grow and serve our communities. Visit bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
Need auto service in a hurry? No one offers more service centers than the Peruzzi Automotive Group. More certified trained technicians to get you in and out. Appointments available within 24 hours. All makes and models. PA state inspections and emissions to major work including collision. All located on Route 1 in Fairless Hills. Visit any Peruzzi dealership for fast service. Peruzzi Buick GMC, Peruzzi Nissan, Mitsubishi, or Mazda, and their collision center.
Hi, it's Pete from Chickie and Pete's. Bring your party to Chickie and Pete's. We can handle groups of all sizes at our locations across the Delaware Valley. Big parties, small parties, company parties, family parties, get-togethers with friends. Order off the menu or our special catering options. We can do it all, including coming to your home or office or special Play 2 party packages at our South Philly location. Book your party today. Hurry, the space is limited. Visit ChickieandPete's.com for details. Chickie and Pete's is official caterer of the Philadelphia Eagles Touchdown Club and a proud partner of the Philadelphia Eagles.
At Penn Community Bank, we're your financial partner for all of life's moments. Our checking accounts are designed with you in mind, providing convenient access and 5-star mobile and online banking services to help you achieve your goals. Right now, you can earn a $350 cash bonus for opening a qualifying new checking account with direct deposits in the first 60 days. Visit PennCommunityBank.com/cash bonus to learn more. Penn Community Bank, here we grow. Offer terms and conditions apply. Limited time offers subject to change. As for full details, member FDIC.
Need auto service in a hurry? No one offers more service centers than the Peruzzi Automotive Group. More certified trained technicians to get you in and out. Appointments available within 24 hours. All makes and models. PA state inspections and emissions to major work including collision. All located on Route 1 in Fairless Hills. Visit any Peruzzi dealership for fast service. Peruzzi Buick GMC, Peruzzi Nissan, Mitsubishi, or Mazda. And their collision center.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for the Bull Session. Once again, here are your hosts, Phillies Director of Fun and Games, John Brazer, and Mickey Morandini.
Have you watched any of the College World
All
Series?
right, we are back to the BCWSA Bull Session presented by Wapner Newman. I'm John Brazer, joined by Mickey Morandini and Phillies Wall of Fame shortstop Larry Bowa. We're at Chickies and Pete's in Malvern, PA. And speaking of Wapner Newman, we're going to have Rob Miller. You've seen him on the commercials. Now you're seeing him live right here. He's going to come on at the end of the segment, end of the show, and he's going to give us the player of the week, the Wapner Newman player of the week. Do you have a guess of who it might be?
Yeah,
The first two don't count.
Well, yeah, you can do player
I
of the month.
I know it's not an offensive player.
No, it's not. I think we're all going to take a guess. But how about this one? Ready? The month of May, Cliff Lee. In June of 2011, right? This is what Cliff Lee did in June of 2011. He had 42 innings pitched, gave up 21 hits, 1 earned run. It's 42 innings pitched,
Wow.
1 earned run, 8 walks, 29 strikeouts. He threw 585 pitches. He had 3 complete game shutouts, and he had a 0.21 ERA. Right?
Pretty good.
That's pretty good, right?
Real good.
Well, I think Sanchez beat that. So here's his May of 2026. 39 innings pitched, so 3 less than Cliff. 25 hits. All right, so that's 4 more. 0 earned runs. So 39 innings pitched, 0 earned runs. He only had 3 walks. That might be the craziest stat. 39 innings pitched, 3 walks. He had 45 strikeouts, again, compared to Cliff Lee's 29. He threw 504 pitches. He had 1 complete game shutout. And his ERA was
0.
Was Blutarski in Animal House's GPA 0.00.
Yeah, I'm going to go out on the limb here because I watched the last 3 games in San Diego when we were out there. I'm saying he's going to extend that another 7 or 8.
You think?
Yeah, that lineup right now, not only, first of all, Sanchez really good, but that lineup San Diego's featuring, I thought our lineup was bad offensively. They're terrible. San Diego's offense is terrible. And I expect Sanchez to keep rolling here.
Wow.
I think he's pitching Wednesday because Nola's tomorrow.
Yes,
and then
Nola's tomorrow.
Sanchez Wednesday. I look for another goose egg up there for a long time.
I'm expecting Wednesday would be a pretty, if you're a baseball fan.
Be a good day to go.
Right?
Yeah.
And, well, it
he's closing in on.
But it
on
looks like he
Hershiser.
couldn't do Hershiser this. He couldn't do Hershiser this time, but he can beat it, assuming he has the innings.
7 or 8 innings.
Yeah,
right.
So, but that would be on the road, I guess.
Yeah, because if he pitches Wednesday, he won't pitch the rest of the summer.
It's Monday.
By the way, did you know that Oral Hershiser was a very good ice hockey player?
I heard that.
He was on the Little Flyers, which is the all-star team around here. And my brother, Drew, was on that same team. And I remember him saying, like, my brother looking around, and Drew was about to go to Princeton. And he's like, I wonder who's going to be successful in this room. Little did he know that the guy who's in glasses, the quiet defenseman back there was going to go on to become one of the best pitchers. All right, I'm almost doing this stat just to just drive both you guys crazy. All right, this is on 97.5, The Fanatic. It said, how hard is Christopher Sanchez to hit right now? Jason Stark said this. Again, I'm going to drive you guys crazy. The launch angle against him, all his pitches in this month, is less than 1 degree. That means it's a miracle when the hitters even get the ball in the air. So I don't really quite – I mean, obviously –
Well, he's got an unbelievable changeup that's down. He's got a sinker. He's got a fastball and a slider. And he very seldom pitches up in the zone. You know, everyone tells you go up in the zone. He goes up when he wants to. Most of the time he's down. I think the thing that makes him really effective, and I talked to a couple guys, the changeup and the fastball, they come out of the same slot and they have the same spin. And it's really, to me, if you're going to hit or try to hit Sanchi, until you have 2 strikes, you got to go up there looking for 1 pitch.
Right.
You can't try to cover him right now because he's electric right now, and he's getting every pitch over. He's down in the zone. So
if you're a batter, either of you guys, if you're a batter, and let's say the catcher said, "Hey, just to let you know, he's throwing a changeup right here," like
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, right?
No, because his changeup is we call it a power change.
Right.
It's got depth to it. You know, there's a lot of power. A lot of changeups go side to side. His comes up and just drops off the table. That's what makes it so effective. So if I was a hitter, I'd go up there looking either a sinker or fastball or slow. I wouldn't look for the changeup because if you get it, unless it's up in the zone, you're not going to do anything with it. Now with 2 strikes, that's a different story. You're fighting for your life up there. But I'm looking something hard, and if he throws the changeup, I'm just letting it. I'm not taking it.
The other thing is he pitches inside.
Really
he gets it inside.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, and just I love the story of Sanchez. We get him from Tampa for Curtis Mead, who's a good prospect.
Couldn't throw a strike.
And Curtis Mead, started doing well with Tampa right away. And everyone's like, oh, look at this guy. We got this, basically, the 13th pitcher on the roster, the long man. And he had no control.
None.
He wasn't as big. I mean, he's obviously tall, but he wasn't bulky yet. And then all of a sudden, it's almost like this guy had a will to become one of the best pitchers in the game because somehow he found that command. And then who were we talking to? We were talking to somebody who worked with, was it not Greg Gross? Somebody worked with Randy Johnson, and they knew Randy from the very beginning. Was that Greg Gross? Somebody.
Might have been.
And they were saying same thing. He was a gangly left-hander who had, weird arm slot, and he had no control, but he could throw the, heck out of the ball. And then he basically learned how to become a pitcher with that velocity. And then or at least for Sanchez, he bulked up, and all of a sudden he's got command. And that, I guess he always had that changeup, but then the changeup
not that good,
and the changeup became just more refined. And
it might be as good a changeup as I've seen. Back when I played, I'm trying to think of Andy Messersmith had an unbelievable changeup, but Sanchi, man, I haven't seen a changeup like that.
But have you ever seen somebody go from? It's almost like raw, like clay, like you're gonna, and then just go from a raw product to completely, who's literally one of the
to a superstar.
Have you seen in that?
Not like that,
and not in a long time either.
What's that? Within 3 years?
Within 3 years.
No.
Like, can you even give is there somebody that's even close? Like somebody just kind of came out of nowhere.
I think the one guy that, if you had to say, came close, but when he was with another team was Schilling, and then he came over to us.
Right, that's good comp.
And Johnny Padres helped him out.
Yeah, because he came over from the Orioles, right?
Yeah, but Schill was one of those guys that had a great arm, and I mean, he could throw strikes, but he would get hit a little bit. But he came over here, and Johnny Padres really helped him.
Right. I love the old school because you coached with Pods, right? And I remember one time, I think it was my first year or 2 years. And, do you remember we went to harness racing? I think it was in New Jersey. And you guys all got on the horse.
It was up in towards the Poconos.
Oh, okay.
It was the Poconos.
But you guys went harness racing.
Yep.
And Vuk got on there. You got on there.
I got on there. Jimmy Fergosi.
Fergosi got on there.
It was fun.
I know Johnny Potter was up there because I had to take I took his order for betting, and I made the mistake of taking his order for betting because, one, he talked like, and he's throwing all this, horse, jargon in there that had no clue. And I'm like, oh,
I remember that was fun.
And I think I made Todd Callis go ask him again what he actually bet on, so I didn't mess up there. But I remember that, you guys, right?
Johnny was a trip, man. He would be in the dugout, and if the pitcher didn't have good stuff, he could tell right away. And he'd have his counter.
Yeah.
And if he goes strike one, and he'd click it like 6 times.
Right.
And then it'd be another one, he'd click it 6 more. And Jim Fergosi would say, how many pitches do you have? He goes, Man, Jimmy, he's up to 90 already. We have to think about. And then on the other side of the coin, if Schill was there, Schill would throw 10 pitches, and Johnny would go once. And then Jimmy would say, "How many pitches you got?" "Oh, he's only got 65. He's doing good." But if your guy wasn't having good stuff, Johnny hit that thing about 10 times. Try to get him out of there.
I love the old school. Now, do you think, like back then, do you think the players, around that era, or even I know there was this that they appreciate who you guys were as pros? You know what I mean? Do you think people realize you were one of the greatest shortstops when you're managing them or coaching them? Johnny Padres obviously was a great pitcher.
I think our guys realized how good Johnny was.
Do they back then?
No question.
Because I'm only saying that because I remember Richie Ashburn. He was about to go into the Hall of Fame, and we had a ceremony. And Mariano Duncan said, because he used to play cards with Whitey all the time.
Right.
And he said to somebody, he goes, "What, do you play baseball?" He didn't know that.
Dunk didn't know that?
Dunk didn't know that
Right.
Richie Ashburn played baseball. Not only played baseball, was Hall of Famer.
Yeah, and MVP of World Series.
Right.
I mean, when I played, you had played 18 years. How long did Booth play? 13,
right up
14, whatever.
13, yeah.
Fregosi played almost
Long
20
time.
years.
Fregosi
Padres.
The one thing
Dennis Menke.
Dennis played along. The one thing you're never going to see, or you didn't see back then, is someone coaching that never played the game,
which is now more prevalent.
Right.
Well, it's taking over baseball
because it's all analytics.
Yeah.
Or you never see a manager, at least not manage in the minor leagues, or do some sort of managing, just take over a team.
That being said, I don't like what Cassiano said. And actually, even when because Cassiano said, the guy never really played in the major leagues. He said something to that effect about Rob Thompson.
Right.
And to me, that's complete BS because there are so many great managers that, right? I mean, did Sparky Anderson
very little
play? Tommy Lasorda.
The only thing about that is, in my opinion, those guys like Rob Thompson, they paid their dues.
Right.
And, a lot of those guys, they ride those buses for 6, 7, 8, 9 years.
Yep.
They were not only they were pitching coach, hitting coach, infield coach, trainer.
Yep.
They did everything. So that statement, I agree with you, it wasn't a true statement because I know a lot of guys that didn't play in the big leagues are very knowledgeable about baseball.
Yeah.
No question.
Well, also Rob was, bench coach
for the Yankees,
Joe Torre, just like you were a bench coach at Joe Torre.
Yep.
And the experience you're getting. I got to say, I didn't like, quite frankly, I think what Harper said either, because he said
we're waiting for something
to happen. You can make something happen. You can, right? You can save the guy's job if, I'm not saying it's all on you, but
I couldn't believe.
Don't make that
either,
statement. It just,
I know.
It's just, I don't know, for some reason, it rubbed me the wrong way. So, all right, time's running out. Game's on the line. Who do you want taking the last shot? You want Wapner Newman, Pennsylvania, New Jersey's premier medical malpractice and injury attorney since 1978. Call 215-569-0900 or visit wapnernewman.com. All right, coming up in the show, we're going to go back. We're going to tell we might have told some of these stories before, but they're my favorite Larry Bowa stories. And I do want to get the story when he was tough on you, Mick. All right? We'll do that.
That was 8 years worth.
No, get out of here, 8 years worth.
You're listening to BCWSA Bull Session presented by Wapner Newman.
Need auto service in a hurry? No one offers more service centers than the Peruzzi Automotive Group. More certified trained technicians to get you in and out. Appointments available within 24 hours. All makes and models. PA state inspections and emissions to major work including collision. All located on Route 1 in Fairless Hills. Visit any Peruzzi dealership for fast service. Peruzzi Buick GMC, Peruzzi Nissan, Mitsubishi, or Mazda. And their collision center.
Hey BCWSA customers, this is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League Champion Phillies. My friends at BCWSA are committed to providing us with safe, reliable water and sewer services. They operate state-of-the-art treatment facilities, provide clean drinking water, and make much-needed investments to protect our environment and ensure a sustainable future. Learn how BCWSA's investments help grow and serve our communities. Visit bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven. Hey BCWSA customers, this is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League Champion Phillies. My friends at BCWSA are committed to providing us with safe, reliable water and sewer services. They operate state-of-the-art treatment facilities, provide clean drinking water, and make much-needed investments to protect our environment and ensure a sustainable future. Learn how BCWSA's investments help grow and serve our communities. Visit bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
Hi, it's Pete from Chickie and Pete's. Bring your party to Chickie and Pete's. We can handle groups of all sizes at our locations across the Delaware Valley. Big parties, small parties, company parties, family parties, get-togethers with friends. Order off the menu or our special catering options. We can do it all, including coming to your home or office or special Play 2 party packages at our South Philly location. Book your party today. Hurry, the space is limited. Visit chickieandpete's.com for details. Chickie and Pete's is official caterer of the Philadelphia Eagles Touchdown Club and a proud partner of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Need auto service in a hurry? No one offers more service centers than the Peruzzi Automotive Group. More certified trained technicians to get you in and out. Appointments available within 24 hours. All makes and models. PA state inspections and emissions to major work including collision. All located on Route 1 in Fairless Hills. Visit any Peruzzi dealership for fast service. Peruzzi Buick GMC, Peruzzi Nissan, Mitsubishi, or Mazda. And their collision center.
Hey BCWSA customers, this is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League Champion Phillies. My friends at BCWSA are committed to providing us with safe, reliable water and sewer services. They operate state-of-the-art treatment facilities, provide clean drinking water, and make much-needed investments to protect our environment and ensure a sustainable future. Learn how BCWSA's investments help grow and serve our communities. Visit bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for the Bull Session. Once again, here are your hosts, Phillies Director of Fun and Games, John Brazer, and Mickey Morandini.
The Giants.
All right, we are back to the BCWSA Bull Session presented by Wapner Newman. I'm John Brazer, joined by Phillies Wall of Fame shortstop Larry Bowa and Mickey Morandini. We're at Chickies and Pete's in Malvern, PA. Now, Larry, let's go back into the time machine. And I know you've told the story many times, but hopefully there's people that haven't heard it because I love it. So you grew up in Sacramento.
Yep.
And your dad was a coach.
He played pro ball.
Played pro ball and coached in the Cardinal system, right?
Yeah, managed
in
minor leagues.
So being the son of that kind of explains a lot, right? Like just being the son of a baseball guy, your fundamentals are so good. It makes sense that you were the son of a baseball.
Yeah, that my dad taught me that from this. He knew I wasn't going to be one of those guys that hit home runs and everything. And he said, you can do all the little things and you can be a valuable asset on the baseball field. So he taught me how to do all that stuff, hit and run, bunt, steal bases, catch the ball. And then I thought I was pretty good. And I went out for my high school team and I got cut every year. The guy told me, he didn't tell me I wasn't good enough. He says, you're too small.
Huh.
And so when I told my dad that, he goes, I'm not going to say he's right or wrong, but don't say you're too small. Say you're not good enough. You don't have the physical ability to play. So I kept playing, and I got into a summer league, and I played summer ball for a team, and the junior college coach happened to be scouting for his team for the fall.
It's Sacramento
City.
Yeah.
And he asked me, he says, hey, why don't you come out for my team? And I laughed at him. I said, I didn't even make my high school team. How am I going to play junior college ball? He said, just come out. I'll give you a fair shot to make the team. I said, okay. So I went there and I played 2 years. I made all conference both years, and eventually the Phillies signed me.
And the scout came out. This is my favorite part. The scout comes out to see you play in a doubleheader.
We had a doubleheader. It was exhibition games.
It was Eddie Bacchus?
Eddie Bachman.
Eddie Bachman.
And he had called Paul Owens, who was general manager. He said, I got a kid in Sacramento that he runs good. He's got a good arm. He can catch the ball. I don't know what he's going to hit, but the worst that can happen is we sign him, keep him in the organization as a coach, maybe a manager in the minor leagues. And so Paul Owens says, go watch him play and send me the report. He says, okay. So lo and behold, he comes out and we have a doubleheader. The first game I got kicked out either the second or third inning. And the second game I didn't think I made it 3 innings in the second game. So Eddie Bachman calls Pope and he says, how'd the kid do? And he goes, I don't know. And he says, I thought you said you were going to watch him. He says, I did. But he got kicked out of both games before the fourth inning.
Wouldn't you love to see Pope's reaction to that? Like, what do you think Pope's reaction to that was?
He probably went, get him out of here, man.
And then, well, first of all, going back to that, Did you ever see your high school coach like after you made it in the pros?
I'll tell you
went
what,
back to him and said,
I didn't see him, but my nephew, who was Nick Johnson, who played in the big
Yankees,
leagues, he went to the same high school.
Ah.
So when he had the tryouts and everything, he would give his speech about this is what he's looking for. And he did say, this is what Nick told me, I've only made one mistake since I've been here. And he mentioned my name, but cut me. So I guess.
But you haven't seen him since?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. So then you get in the Phillies minor league system. And your first game.
I go to spring training.
I
think I'm going to be a utility guy. And I end up winning the job at Spartanburg, South Carolina.
Right.
Bob Wapner was the manager.
And your first game was a pretty tough one, right?
Yeah, I'm digging myself, man. I go from a utility player to not getting drafted, not playing high school, and I'm making Spartanburg. So the first game, I only hit right-handed then when I first came up. I struck out 4 times in a row. And so I'm sitting in my locker and my head's down. And Bob Wellman comes over. He says, you all right? And I said, yeah, I'm okay. I said, but if professional baseball is like this, send me back to Sacramento. I said, I'm done. And he goes, come on, man. He said, this guy's special. I'm thinking, manager's building up his players. So don't worry about this. Well, the guy happened to be Nolan Ryan. So Nolan Ryan got me 4 times. I had no chance. The lights were like these lights. He's throwing 100 miles an hour, not knowing where the ball's going.
Spartanburg.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that was
that was a bad feeling. Not fun.
All right. So then you come up through the Phillies. And this is when, I was born in 65. So like, in the beginning of 70s, mid 70s, when I really started watching, and you guys started just slowly building that train. You had Bull, and you had Schmidt and yourself,
and
Booney, and then you started adding some people along the way.
Right.
And then obviously you guys had the tough series against the Dodgers, especially that I'm sure you guys probably keep
we needed instant replay.
Yeah, and so if they had instant replay, would have been.
We might have won too.
Might have won too, right? And, and what do you think the best? Obviously you guys won in 1980, but what do you think the best team was? That the best team, or was one
the 80 team?
Yeah,
not top to bottom.
Yeah,
I want to say 76 or 77. We had a monster team. I mean, really good, and we just didn't get over the hump. Whether it was a call, whether it was not getting a hit at the right time, pitcher not making a pitch. But we, in all fairness, we played 2 teams that were really good at that time: the Dodgers and the Big Red Machine.
Yeah.
And they just beat us. I mean, sometimes you just, in order to get to where you want to go, you got to hit rock bottom. And we kept coming up short. And then obviously they went out and got Pete, and Dallas took over. And finally in 80, we beat Kansas City. And
that series against Houston was one of the, it still goes down as one of the great series of all time. 4 of the games of 5 went to extra innings.
Yep.
And then even the last game.
Beating Nolan Ryan.
Right. Well, because you got.
I finally got even with him.
You got even with him.
He says that he had a documentary, and they asked him what was the most difficult time in all the years. I think he's played 20. I don't know. He played a long time. He says not beating Philadelphia when he was with the Houston. That's the most disappointing time he's ever had in a baseball uniform. Right. And to beat him going in the 7th inning when he had a lead, the numbers were unbelievable. I mean, if you looked at him, you go, oh, this game's over. And we came back and we tied it, and we went ahead. They went ahead. We tied them again. Then we finally won it with Ruthven came out of the bullpen, and the last out was hit to Gary Maddox in center field.
But the strategy, if I remember correctly, was you guys. I mean, I know like Greg Gross, you guys all first pitch hits, right?
It happened. Everyone wanted to know why they kept him in there so long. I started the inning off. I think I took a strike, then I got a base hit. Booney hit a 1-hopper to Nolan and went off his glove. It would have been a double play.
Right.
And it trickled behind the mound. He hit the first pitch, and Greg Gross bunts the first pitch. I mean, it was a blueprint right down the line. Before you knew it, he threw 7 pitches, I think, 6 pitches, and we had the bases loaded and nobody out. And then we ended up tying the game.
That's how it happened.
Yep.
Mick, how about this one? Ready? Larry hit 316 in that famed NLCS, and he hit 375 in the World Series. And that World Series, what was that like? Like, again, you've probably gone through this a million times, but when Willie Wilson struck out, Tug McGraw's on the mound, you're at shortstop. Like, what was that?
It was an unbelievable feeling. Because if you remember that inning, the horses came on the field,
right?
And they called timeout, and I'm sitting there, and I'm crouched over, and I'm watching these horses, and I want the game to get going. And I'm thinking about when I was in Sacramento throwing the ball off the garage door saying there's a ground ball hit that Larry Bowa picks up. Then they win the World Series. And they had men on base, and I'm going, do I really want this ball hit to me?
I was just about to ask that question, right?
I'm saying to myself, really? Do I want that ball hit to me right now? But it turned out everything was good. But so many things go through your mind. You know, the trials and tribulations, not beating the Dodgers, not beating Cincinnati, not making your team, not getting drafted. And these horses are coming on. I'm going, am I really living this dream right now? I mean, I tell kids, you know, when you have a dream and it comes true, that's even better.
Right.
For that to happen, it truly was a dream come true.
Well, just the journey you had, too. In fact, just thinking that you talked about not making your team. You know, your dad was a baseball lifer, right? Yep. You probably have all kinds of things going through your head, right? When you're.
And the one thing I do remember is I told Schmitty, you know, he was drafted, he was number 1 pick. And when you're number 1 pick, you come up to Philly, you get all your pictures taken.
Right.
And then you usually go to either Reading or wherever. So I remember taking grounders, and he had just come up for photograph day and everything. And when you know someone's behind you, and I turned around, I said, "You want some grounders?" He goes, "Yeah, it's okay if I step in." I said, "Yeah, jump in." So he's catching the ball, and I'm going, "Oh man, this guy looks pretty good." So I go, "Oh, by the way, you might want to learn to play another position because I plan on being here a while." And he tells that story. I look back on that. I'm telling a Hall of Famer, you better learn to play another position. What a dope I was.
No, I love it. That's what made you Larry Bowa.
That's true.
And then you get traded to the Cubs.
That was on my doing, though.
Dallas, right, because you.
But we had a contract problem with when Maruli gave sold the ball club to Bill Giles. I'm good friends with Bill now, but at the time we agreed on a 3-year deal, and I said, "Ruley, don't have to sign something." He goes, "No, Bill's taking over, no problem." And so I thought I had a 3-year deal, and I get a phone call once Bill took over. He says, "Can you come to the office?" And I'm thinking, "Yeah, I'll be up there. I'm going to sign the contract." So I go up there, and Bill goes, "I've been thinking about this. I'm going to give you 1 year." I said, "Wait, Bill, wait. Ruley we shook hands on this." He goes, "Yeah, but the more I think about it, I'm just going to stick with it." I said, "Then you know what? Just trade me." And I was 5-10, so I had to okay the trade.
Right.
So he says, "Okay, if that's what you want." I said, "Yeah, that's what I want." So Dallas happened to call me, and he said, "Would you come over here?" And I said, "Yeah, I come over there." And we're going to throw a guy in by the name of Sam Burke. Right. God rest his soul. It was a Hall of Fame player, but that's how that.
For Ivan De Jesus, right?
Yep.
And then both of you guys played for the Cubs.
Yeah.
Right? Both of you guys came up to the Phillies.
Yep.
And played for the Cubs. Yeah. Did you like playing at Wrigley?
I loved it.
I loved it.
It was like a job. You get up in the morning, you have breakfast, you go play, you come home, you barbecue at night. Yep. The only thing bad, you had lights here, didn't you, when you played?
Yeah.
No,
we didn't have lights. Yeah. So, you go on the road for 9 days, 10 days, you're playing all night games, and you come back to Wrigley. That's tough making the adjustment, man. Yeah. If we had lights, because in 83, we could have went to the World Series. We beat San Diego twice. And then we go out there and we get swept 3 games. But we would have been playing Detroit if we'd have got through that series. But it was fun there in Chicago.
All right. Found yourself on the injured list? Get help now. Call Wapner Newman, Pennsylvania, New Jersey's premier malpractice and injury attorneys at 215-569-0900 or visit WapnerNewman.com. And speaking of Wapner Newman, we're going to have Rob Miller come on. I kind of buried the lead, right? Because we talked about Christopher Sanchez all that time. But maybe he's going to have a surprise pick. What do you think?
Maybe.
All right, coming back, we're on the BCWSA Bull Session presented by Wapner Newman. We'll hear from Rob Miller. I'm John Brazer, joined by Phillies Wall of Fame shortstop Larry Bowa and Mickey Morandini.
Hi, it's Pete from Chickie and Pete's. Bring your party to Chickie and Pete's. We can handle groups of all sizes at our locations across the Delaware Valley. Big parties, small parties, company parties, family parties, get-togethers with friends. Order off the menu or our special catering options. We can do it all, including coming to your home or office or special Play 2 party packages at our South Philly location. Book your party today. Hurry, the space is limited. Visit ChickieandPete's.com for details. Chickie and Pete's is official caterer of the Philadelphia Eagles Touchdown Club and a proud partner of the Philadelphia Eagles. Hi, it's Pete from Chickie and Pete's. Bring your party to Chickie and Pete's. We can handle groups of all sizes at our locations across the Delaware Valley. Big parties, small parties, company parties, family parties, get-togethers with friends. Order off the menu or our special catering options. We can do it all, including coming to your home or office or special Play 2 party packages at our South Philly location. Book your party today. Hurry, the space is limited. Visit chickieandpete's.com for details. Chickie and Pete's is official caterer of the Philadelphia Eagles Touchdown Club and a proud partner of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Need auto service in a hurry? No one offers more service centers than the Peruzzi Automotive Group. More certified trained technicians to get you in and out. Appointments available within 24 hours. All makes and models. PA state inspections and emissions to major work including collision. All located on Route 1 in Fairless Hills. Visit any Peruzzi dealership for fast service. Peruzzi Buick GMC, Peruzzi Nissan, Mitsubishi, or Mazda. And their collision center.
Hey BCWSA customers, this is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League Champion Phillies. My friends at BCWSA are committed to providing us with safe, reliable water and sewer services. They operate state-of-the-art treatment facilities, provide clean drinking water, and make much-needed investments to protect our environment and ensure a sustainable future. Learn how BCWSA's investments help grow and serve our communities. Visit bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
At Penn Community Bank, we're your financial partner for all of life's moments. Our checking accounts are designed with you in mind, providing convenient access and 5-star mobile and online banking services to help you achieve your goals. Right now, you can earn a $350 cash bonus for opening a qualifying new checking account with direct deposits in the first 60 days. Visit PennCommunityBank.com/cash bonus to learn more. Penn Community Bank, here we grow. Offer terms and conditions apply. Limited time offers subject to change. As for full details, member FDIC.
Hi, it's Pete from Chickie and Pete's. Bring your party to Chickie and Pete's. We can handle groups of all sizes at our locations across the Delaware Valley. Big parties, small parties, company parties, family parties, get-togethers with friends. Order off the menu or our special catering options. We can do it all, including coming to your home or office or special Play 2 party packages at our South Philly location. Book your party today. Hurry, the space is limited. Visit chickieandpete's.com for details. Chickie and Pete's is official caterer of the Philadelphia Eagles Touchdown Club and a proud partner of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Need auto service in a hurry? No one offers more service centers than the Peruzzi Automotive Group. More certified trained technicians to get you in and out. Appointments available within 24 hours. All makes and models. PA state inspections and emissions to major work including collision. All located on Route 1 in Fairless Hills. Visit any Peruzzi dealership for fast service. Peruzzi Buick GMC, Peruzzi Nissan, Mitsubishi, or Mazda. And their collision center.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for the Bull Session. Once again, here are your hosts, Phillies Director of Fun and Games, John Brazer, and Mickey Morandini.
All right, we are back to the BCWSA Bull Session presented by Wapner Newman. I'm John Brazer, joined by Mickey Morandini and Phillies Wall of Fame shortstop Larry Bowa. We're here at Chickies and Pete's in Malvern, PA. And in a city of champions, you deserve champion legal representation. Wapner Newman is Pennsylvania and New Jersey's premier medical malpractice and injury attorneys. Call 215-569-0900 or visit wapnernewman.com. And from Wapner Newman, we have Rob Miller, who is a big Phillies fan and a golfer. I golfed with Rob a couple weeks ago at his home course. So Rob, you got the floor right here. We kind of ruined your whole Christopher Sanchez. I'm assuming you're going to give the Wapner Newman Player of the Week.
I will.
Which I think we probably could guess, right?
Well, yes, but I got a couple things I want to actually pick the brains of you guys if I can.
We got one of the great baseball minds right here in Larry Bowa.
Absolutely, and Mickey.
And Mick.
So,
sorry, Mick.
You know, it used to be a lot of talk about going out on the West Coast and having a good week out on the West Coast because we're looking back at the past week. So Phillies were 4-2, right? So it's a little bit of a weird taste, if you will, in the sense that they lost the series against the Dodgers. Yesterday was a tough game. But overall, they went 4-2 for the week. So I'm thinking that's pretty good.
I think anytime you go on a road trip and you go 4-2, we could have very easily been 2-4, or we could have been 6-0 if you really look at it that way. But the two teams we played are still in contention. Obviously, the Dodgers they're going for their third straight World Series. So I think I don't know how you felt, Mick, but I just think it's not who you play all the time; it's when you play them.
Right.
And we caught San Diego where they're not swinging the bats very good. Dodgers, as we all know, good pitching, but to go 4-2, I'm all in on that.
Yeah, I think that's really good.
Yeah, we've always struggled going out to the West Coast.
Right.
And I think in 93 was one of the first years where we didn't struggle going out. But we used to go out twice, right? We used to go to each city twice.
Right.
You don't do that anymore.
Well,
we had to make like
didn't
3
you
or
also
4.
do at one point? I remember
Used to do 3 teams.
Right, I was gonna say San
Used to
Diego,
do LA,
LA,
San Diego, and San Francisco.
Yeah, you do
so
all-
you go out there for 9 or 10 games.
Right.
You could come back, 2-8,
Right.
3-7. But to go out there 4-2. Is
Considering we're not hitting,
right.
That's a real
That's a
good
win.
win.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Now, how do you get the guys hitting? How do you get? We talked about they're struggling. There's too many games where there's like end of the game we have 4 hits, we have 5 hits.
You know what the rap we're getting right now, and I know Mick knows this. We have trouble winning if we don't hit home runs. We've got to hit home runs. We don't put together like 6 hits in 2 innings with none of them going out of the ballpark. We might get a hit here or a guy make an error, then somebody hits one. But that's a hard way to win, even though our pitching is as good as it is. Because when you get to the playoffs, which I still think we're going to be in the playoffs because of our pitching, you're not going to face pitchers who give up 7 or 8 runs.
So why is that? Is it philosophy? Is it personnel?
Part of the problem is we strike out a tremendous amount, and you're not going to string together 4, 5, 6 hits if you can't put the ball in play. I just looked at some stats. We have 2 guys hitting over 250,
which is unbelievable.
And our on-base percentage, we have 3 guys on-base percentage is over 300, which is horrible. I mean, usually your on-base percentage, a good on-base percentage is like 340, 350, and we have 3 guys over 300. So for me, and this is league-wide, you got to change your swing path. Because our swing path, when you have an uppercut swing, your chances of hitting the 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
I remember Schmidt used to talk about swinging down on it, like you're
Right.
chopping
Exactly.
a tray. Right.
Exactly.
And you look at, and I know batting average is a antiquated stat, right? Which I don't know why, but Turner's hitting your leadoff hitter for the most part. He's hitting 223. Schwarber, he's not going to have a high.
He's going to hit his home runs.
Yeah,
That's
he's
exactly
hit
what he did.
234. But you can't have your third baseman hitting 210.
No.
You can't have your right fielder hitting 191. And you can't have your second baseman hitting 217, and then your best backup infielder hitting 211, and your catcher hitting 220. That's a rest. And Crawford, your center fielder, is hitting 234. So
and you know what's amazing about that, Braze, is I get if it's still April because you don't have a lot of at bats, so you get 3 hits, your average. But these guys are getting close to 200 at bats. Usually, when you get around that number, I'm not saying you're going to end up that, but you have an idea what your ball club's going to be like. We've got to learn, like Mick made a good point. We don't have enough guys putting the ball in play with two strikes. When you're down in the count 0-2, 1-2, you're up there battling for your life, and you got to make adjustments. You got to spread out. You got to say, I'm going to put the ball in play. If you have to choke up a couple inches, I'm going to put the ball in play. The infield's back. There's a man on third. I'm going to hit a ground ball and get this. We don't have that philosophy going for some reason, and I'm not blaming players. They're getting paid for hitting balls in the seats. So these general managers hit the ball in the seats. Don't worry about anything else. If you strike out 230 times, it's no big deal. Hit 30 home runs. That's the wrong way to approach, especially offensively, because I will say this, Mick, and you can probably verify this. Most of these hitters, when you go into a game now, when we played, if you had a starting pitcher, you get 3 at-bats, usually against that pitcher. Maybe sometimes you get 4.
Yeah.
These guys, after 5 innings, they face 3 more different pitchers. And I think it's difficult for hitters to face 5 pitchers every night, different pitchers. You don't get a feel for what he's trying to do to get you out. So I think in that respect, I think it's a little more difficult when you face that many pitchers every single night.
And they're all throwing 98, 99 miles an hour.
Yeah. So,
Rob, you got anything else for
Player of the
Aaron?
week? Yeah, well, actually, I wanted to ask you about our player of the week. I think we have a standing rule. If you break a 100-year-old record, you become player of the week, right?
Player of the year, maybe.
Yeah. The next week's might be a little tougher for you, Rob.
Maybe,
Right.
but hopefully we're talking about breaking a 30-year-old record for baseball.
Yeah.
Right,
come next week.
So how many is away now?
Hershiser was 53, I think, wasn't he?
59, I think.
59.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I think he's 15 innings away.
Okay.
So let me ask you this: What do you think is a harder accomplishment? DiMaggio's 56-game hitting streak, or Hershiser's 59 scoreless innings?
That's a good one.
What do you think?
I think
I got to say 56 games.
I think so too, actually.
That's a lot.
Having done the other one, I think it's 56.
I agree because you're getting some help with the 59 innings.
Yeah,
But
but you
still,
guys
it's
make.
pretty
I mean,
critical.
we saw the last game. I think Crawford made an unbelievable play in center field that could have ended that streak. So you're relying on other people to get your zeros up there, whereas 56-game hit streak, you're in that batter's box, and you're the one grinding every day.
You're also doing it over 56 games.
Right.
Where if you're hot, you throw 7, 8, 9. Not that it's easy.
Right.
But you could do that quicker.
You could be banged up. You could be. There's a lot of. Now, what's the longest streaks you guys have had?
I think I had something in the 20s.
Yeah, I would say 20.
That's hard. It's hard, man.
Yeah.
Pete, I think he had a 40-something.
44. Was it
Right.
44?
And Gene Garber got it.
Who did?
Gene Garber, who used
Is that right?
to pitch for the Phillies, got him on
Sidearm,
a
right?
3-2
You know what the
changeup.
longest on-base streak is?
No,
I don't know either. Do you know what that
I
is?
don't. I'll have to look it
I
up.
don't know what that is.
So I wanted to ask you guys talked about Sanchez's changeup earlier. So how do you compare it to a guy like Cole Hamels, who had a great change? Maybe Ryan Madsen had a great changeup. Like, what's the differences between their changes?
I would compare it more to Hamels' change than Madsen's. Madsen pitched mostly out of the bullpen.
Also left-handed.
I think the one thing that separates maybe Cole is a great pitcher, and Sanchi, his velocity is a little bit better than Cole's right now. Anyway, they're both good pitchers. Both good changeup. But right now, I mean, you read quotes from these when he pitches a game against a team. All these players, they interview them. They go, "Never seen a changeup like that ever."
Yeah.
So it's something special. I will say this: I'd go out there every day at home. No one works harder than Sanchi. In between starts, this guy, he really works out in between starts. And so all these accolades he's getting, he deserves.
Well
There's no
deserved.
question about that.
The all-time Major League Baseball record for the longest consecutive, of course,
On base.
on-base streak is held by Hall of Famer Ted Williams, who reached safely in 84
Oh, my
consecutive
God. Wow.
games during the 1949 season.
That's amazing.
That is unbelievable.
You know what the question I had? You might be able, I think I asked you this when we had that tournament. If you get on an air, does that count?
No,
It doesn't.
it does not count.
Okay.
It has to be a walk. I don't know if a hit batsman counts. I would
Yeah,
assume it does.
I would think a hit
And a
pass.
hit, yeah.
But an air does not count.
I don't think so, no.
Okay.
You know, when you have two great players going, like Wheeler and Sanchez are going right now, and you know they're locked in doing their thing, is there like a friendly competition going, or
No
You know,
question.
do they have that personality?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
And you might want to throw in Luzardo too, because he's out there throwing unbelievable too.
Sure.
So, and if we get Nola going, I do think Nola's going to find his groove here. And then you got a number 5 like Painter. And everyone says, well, he only goes 5 innings. You can deal with a number 5 going. He's still a young kid.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's got a great future ahead of him. I know he's 1-6 or whatever right now, but I think this kid's going to be successful in the big leagues. But our pitching staff, I would not want to play the Phillies if you had to face those 3 pitchers in a playoff because they can shut you down. The only thing we'd have trouble with, we better score some runs. Find a way to score some runs.
It would probably be a lot easier for Painter if they scored some runs for him, right?
Yeah.
Especially young kid.
We don't score runs for anybody.
Yeah. But young kid, first year in the
Yeah.
All right, well, that wraps up tonight's BCWSA Bull Session presented by Wapner Newman. I'd like to thank our guest today, Larry Bowa, our on-site engineer, Chris Ermer, my co-host, Mickey Morandini. Thanks to Rob Miller of Wapner Newman for coming on and giving us the Wapner Newman Player of the Week. Thanks also to the great staff at Chicks and Pete's in Malvern, and thanks for you for listening. We're going to be back next Monday at 6 o'clock at Chicks and Pete's on Roosevelt Boulevard with Tommy Green as my co-host, and we're hoping to have Eric Kratz. He's coaching a team right now. That's Cardinal Doherty that's in the playoffs. So if they keep advancing, then I'm going to have to pivot, and I'll tell you that. Until then, have a great week. And it's a late, great Harry the K says,
Out of here.